After Tyrese Haliburton's cold-blooded buzzer beater stunned the basketball world and stole Game 1 for the Indiana Pacers, the Oklahoma City Thunder struck back with a vengeance. Game 2 wasn't just a response, it was a statement. The Thunder locked in on defense, suffocating Indiana's offensive rhythm and storming to a 123-107 victory that evened the NBA Finals at one game apiece. MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was electric, torching the Pacers with 34 points while orchestrating the game like a symphony conductor. Meanwhile, the league's stingiest defense turned Haliburton from hero to afterthought, holding him to just 5 points through 3 quarters. With the series now tied and shifting to Indianapolis for a high-stakes Game 3 on Wednesday, the pressure is cranked up, and the questions are louder than ever. We asked our NBA insiders to dig deeper into the critical adjustments, the enigmatic Haliburton, and the overlooked elements that could tip the scales in this deadlock series. What's the biggest adjustment Indiana must make for Game 3?
It's time for Rick Carlisle to tighten the screws. The Pacers' celebrated depth has carried them this far, but the Thunder's bench has actually been deeper and more impactful through 2 games. Carlisle needs to shrink the rotation and ride his stars harder. When Haliburton and Miles Turner are on the floor, the Pacers are competitive. When they rest, the game unravels. The numbers don't lie. Indiana was outscored by double digits when both sat.
Haliburton must stop being passive. 5 shot attempts in the first half of Game 2? That's unacceptable from your primary engine. The Thunder defense deserves credit, no doubt, but Indy can't afford for their all-star to drift through quarters. If Haliburton asserts himself early, it forces the defense to react and opens things up for everyone else.
Indiana needs to run. It's counterintuitive to push the pace against the hyper-athletic Thunder, but standing around in the half court just plays into OKC's hands. 9 fast break points in Game 2 isn't going to cut it. If the Pacers want to make Oklahoma City uncomfortable, they need to force the tempo and get some easy buckets in transition.
Attack the rim with more urgency. The most promising stretch for Indiana in Game 2 came when Nembhard and Siakam slashed through the lane with aggression, leading to a flurry of points and a Nesmith 3 that sliced the deficit to 13. Indiana ended the third quarter down 16 in paint points, a brutal margin. Paint touches create fouls, open looks, and rhythm. They need more of
Zach Cram. Free throws are a hidden battleground. During the regular season, Oklahoma City was among the worst teams in free throw differential. Yet they've won the line battle in both finals games. If the Pacers are going to play the underdog role effectively, they need to exploit this weakness. Draw contact, get to the line, and cash in. Let Siakam work against mismatches and put pressure on the officials. Bobby Marks. It's a tale of 2 performances in one game. Haliburton was invisible for the first 36 minutes on Sunday, then came alive with 12 in the fourth. But that late surge doesn't excuse the passivity. Indiana can't afford to let 3 quarters go by without their best player asserting himself. Michael C. Wright. Simply put, he's been subpar. Haliburton is overthinking, hesitant, and allowing OKC's defensive pressure to dictate terms. Through 2 games, he's turned it over 3 or more times each night, a troubling trend we haven't seen from him since March. Who or what has been the X factor? Bobby Marks. Isaiah Hartenstein. He doesn't stuff the stat sheet, but his screens, the invisible glue of OKC's offense, have opened space for Jalen Williams and others. His dirty work is setting the tone. Shelburne. Depth. The Thunder can get surprise performances from Wiggins, Caruso, or even Giddey. But will those bench heroes travel well in a hostile environment? Indiana's role players have a chance to rise at home. Pelton. Rebounding. Game 1 saw Indiana dominate the glass. Game 2, the Thunder flipped the script. The Pacers need to win the battle on the boards to compete. Marks. The non-SGA minutes. The Thunder outscored Indy by 10 during Gilgeous-Alexander's rest in the fourth. If Indiana can't capitalize when the MVP sits, they're in serious trouble. Cram. The double big look. OKC experimented with Hartenstein and Holmgren together, and it worked. Expect Coach Daigneault to lean on that combination again, especially when Turner hits the bench.